Dr. Lindholm said, I work for Orthomolecular Products. We are a supplement company, so we have 200 products. We sell directly to practitioners like Dr. Lindholm in this practice, who then is able to distribute our supplements to you. We're a professional grade, so it's a little bit different than maybe what you get at CVS or Costco. It really does matter about quality. Basically, FDA requires that your supplements aren't going to poison someone, but they don't require them to be efficacious or of doing something in your body, like therapeutically. So what our company does is we hold ourselves to that higher standard to give you the supplements that are going to, number one, like do something in your body and be a like therapeutic dose, so you don't have to take like 20 pills of something. But you guys all came out here tonight to talk about our detox. So congrats. That's your first step to understanding how maybe supplements can help you in your journey to health. The first R in the functional medicine, let's just say approach, or if you're seeing a more holistic doctor, is remove toxins. So this is the first step to health. Basically, we're exposed to chemicals in our food, chemicals in our air, chemicals in our makeup, our shampoo, conditioner, all of that. And our liver is definitely stressed. But this is one of those presentations that I'm gonna flip through some slides. These are some things you're gonna maybe ask yourself. I'm not gonna like read off the slide, but basically this is an invitation. Think about some health challenges you're facing that maybe you're seeing that I'm talking about in its relation to toxic overload. But yeah, again, where do toxins come from? You have your external toxins and you have your internal toxins, so things that your body creates that are a little toxic. Chronic stress, like if you're a highly stressed individual, that's not good, and over time it's gonna be bad for your liver and whatnot. So again, you have two main sources of toxins within the body and outside the body. So within your body would be like your cortisol, maybe some estrogen. People are familiar with estrogen being pretty toxic if there's too much of it. And then your outside, so your pesticides, herbicides, plastics, smoke, household cleaners, things like that. So total toxic burden results from total toxic exposure minus ability to detoxify toxins minus the ability to eliminate toxins. So my story was, we all are kind of exposed to toxins every day. My own genetic makeup didn't allow me to detoxify well. So we like to use the analogy of like a drain. And some people's drains are big enough to handle toxins all day, every day. And some people's drains are really small and really tiny. And so overall, as we age, the drain, even if the size is big, it's clogged up. So we've got to like unclog it. So symptoms associated with an increased toxic burden, I'm going to list them off. Just kind of think of your own possible symptoms that are correlated. Brain would be difficulty concentrating or brain fog. Sinuses, excessive congestion or other sinus issues. Thyroid, decreased thyroid hormone production or metabolic interference. Immune system challenges or autoimmune susceptibility. Gut, gas, bloating, or digestive disturbances. Weight, difficulty losing weight or maintaining a healthy weight. Reproductive systems, estrogen or testosterone imbalance. Cellular DNA, disrupted cellular metabolism or impaired cell replication. And then muscles and joints, occasional muscle aches, joint discomfort, fatigue, skin itchiness, rashes, or skin issues. So I'm going to pass out this little questionnaire. It's going to be helpful to see maybe where you're at for your own toxic burden. I'm going to start over here. I know there's a lot of questions, so you just answer to the best of your ability. It's kind of, especially if you get to the backside, it's helping you get an idea of maybe where your toxic burden has come from. And going forward with our program, which I'll get into, it kind of talks about maybe some lifestyle modification things you can do. Some of the things, like if you grew up in a house that had lead pipes, like you can't change that. But maybe if you could look at filtering your water, things like that. So I'll give you guys a couple more minutes and then as long as the front side's filled out, I think it will give us a good starting point to total burden. So. So here, like, who here scored above a 30? Anyone count their score? The front side, the 30. So if you score yourself above a 30, if you did the math, you don't have to answer if you didn't. That would be on this front side. So that's just an indicator that you're a prime candidate for this detox. It's going to help you feel better with a lot of those symptoms that you're feeling.
It does say at least 4 categories with a score of 5 or more. So even though your score was over that, it matters what category?
Yeah, so if you have like more than 4 categories that you're scoring 5.
But if you're high,
Yeah.
but you've scored lower.
They're under 30?
No, over 30, but under 4 categories. That's because there's a dual here, 30, more than 30, and 4 categories. Like I have more than 30, but I don't have 4 or more categories.
Okay. Yes.
So do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think
it says and.
Yeah, so at least 4 categories have a score, and at least 4 categories have a score of 5 or more.
So mine's under 4.
Yeah, so basically what we're saying with that, we have a 7-day kit and we have a 14-day detox.
Oh, okay.
So if you're at that 30 and you have more than 4 categories at 5, then we recommend doing a longer detox.
Okay.
So, I mean, even if you have 30, just in general is probably good to do a detox, right? So it's just a differentiator for which detox maybe we recommend. Any other questions? Okay.
And I think, Katie, I don't know if you're going to talk about it, but generally after people detox, you have them like fill this out again, right?
Yes.
To self-rates their improvement.
We're going to do, this is our baseline. And so like I said, if you do this baseline, you do the detox, then you're going to fill it out after. You're going to see which symptoms went away after the detox. Because there will be symptoms that go away. Do you have a question or?
No.
Okay.
Just plain jar.
Just want to make sure. And then so the back side is going to be what are possible exposures you have in your life. Is it going to be heavy metal related? Is it going to be mycotoxin related, which is mold, fungus? Is it going to be food exposures? So basically glyphosate, the things they spray on our food, that's toxic. So that's why we like to eat organically. It's actually why a lot of people have gluten allergies nowadays. You go to Europe, no one has a gluten allergy because they don't farm the same way. Which, that's why if you can, you definitely should eat organic. Glyphosate will be a problem. And then you have hormone altering things, so things that have estrogens in them. Also, estrogen's not a great thing to have in everything. It's gonna mock our own body's estrogen and get in the way of our hormone receptors, and you never want to mess with hormones. It's not a good thing when you're getting a lot of synthetic estrogen. This is different than like hormone replacement. We're just talking about like plastics and whatnot. And then other like food intolerances. It's good to know. Keep the mental note. So what makes someone more susceptible? We kind of talked about the accumulation. We talked about my story, your genetic makeup, lifestyle things. So if you have a diet low in fiber, no protein, nutrients, fruits and vegetables, diets high in caffeine, sugar, processed foods. This is the American diet, standard American diet. So if we're not going outside of what's, I guess, regular or normal, then we probably are more susceptible to toxins. If you're constipated, gastrointestinal imbalances. So there's 3 phases of detox. Phase 3 is actually elimination of the toxin. So if you're constipated, you don't poop every day, you poop like once a week. We have something called hepatic recirculation. So this bile that's helping move our stool out gets recirculated. And so you're just recirculating these toxins until that stool is evacuated. So it's really important that you poop every day for the toxic exposure of like what's in your stool. Like the body packages it all nicely and wants to get out, but if you're not eliminating it, it just gets recirculated. So that's why people like stress about poop. Who knew, right? Inflammation. If you're highly inflamed, so if you're someone's like my joints hurt, just like very inflamed in general. That's going to make you more susceptible. High stress hormone is a toxin, like kind of toxic to our body. And then poor mitochondrial function. So as we age with stressors and toxins and whatnot, our mitochondria are in charge of our 90% of our energy production in our bodies. The cell's job, like ability to do its job, but it's also in charge of our free radical output. So basically, it's like stepping on the gas to your car. Like you're going faster, that's what your mitochondria is doing, giving you ATP. But what comes out the back is a bunch of exhaust, right? So as we age, we're stepping really hard on that gas pedal. We're not going that fast, we're having a ton of exhaust come out the back. So this exhaust then causes damage to our body and stresses our cells. So it's really important when you do a detox that you focus on mitochondrial energy. We'll get more into that. So I kind of touched on the 3 phases of detox. So first phase, specific enzymes make the substances more reactive, which makes them even more harmful to the body. Keep that in mind. Phase 2, the second phase, is crucial because it neutralizes these harmful substances and then makes them safe for elimination. And then the third phase is neutralized substances are eliminated through the kidneys and intestinal tract, so urine and pooping. So here we have a picture, a little infographic, and I have some of these. I might have to share with your partner, like someone you're sitting next to. But it'll have some more pictures in them, and this won't be in the center page. But it talks about the certain nutrients needed for each phase. And as we'll get into the detox a little bit more, we'll talk about each individual one. So phase 1, you need a lot of ATP, energy made from your mitochondria. You need B vitamins, glutathione, flavonoids, branched chain amino acids. Phase 2 needs ATP, methionine, basically amino acids, magnesium, glutathione, B vitamins, vitamin C, glycine, taurine, glutamine, and choline. And the last one needs fiber, water, ATP, magnesium citrate. Things are going to help you with elimination. So, phase 1, we have fat-soluble toxins that are entering the body, and they're quickly met with an enzyme to transform them into water-soluble molecules. This creates a reactive mediary or a metabolite. This is more toxic than the original toxin that your body actually had. So, the fat one this is why when people are trying to lose weight, they don't lose weight, because the body wants to turn it into a reactive intermediary metabolite, and this is something that will cause so much damage to the body. If the liver is not ready for phase 2, if it doesn't shuttle into phase 2 right away, this metabolite will wreak havoc. So the body, by protection, will refuse to detox the toxin, and so it's stored as fat because it's fat soluble. So this is why many times people do detoxes and they don't feel good. They drink the juice cleanses because it stimulates phase 1, and it doesn't really affect phase 2. They're making all these reactive metabolites. So here we have often basically this radical thing. And then phase 2, it makes them less toxic. It binds them. And so it's not going to be reactive with the body. And then what we're doing is we're trying to balance phase 1 overactivity and then phase 2, phase 3 activity. We're trying to shift that balance with this detox. Sorry, I'm trying to get to the point where this is phase 3, things that are helpful for urine and stool elimination. And then, so this is kind of talk about the mitochondria. You have a ton of mitochondria in your liver. 1/5 of your liver is made up of mitochondria, so that's incredibly important for detox. It's, again, the energy needed to detox is super important, and if you don't have enough properly functioning mitochondria, you're not going to detox well. So, I just want to make sure I touch all that. So again, talking about being exposed to food, packaging, personal care products, medications. These are all chemicals we're exposed to every day, more of that chemical stuff. This is a company-made PowerPoint. I'm just trying to see what's important. This is the dirty dozen, some strawberry, spinach. These are things that are very dirty, so you want to buy them organic 100%. So memorize this list. If you're going to buy anything organic, buy these things organic because the toxins sprayed on them are directly in their makeup. So that's a picture of the toxins being sprayed on them. Just picture that. And a picture of getting a grape.
Yum.
Do you mind if we take a picture of that?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
If you search Dirty Dozen too on the internet,
Do you want a picture of the food?
Yeah.
Katie, while she's doing that, can I reiterate what I think you were getting at? That one of the things I love about CoreRestore is that this detox is designed to ramp up phase 2 and phase 3 first before your body does phase 1. So she mentioned some people don't feel good when they detox, or detoxes can actually be make the metabolites more toxic, which can actually cause more problems.
Yep.
So this is research based to ramp up eliminating and phase 2 and phase 3
Yep.
before it ramps up phase 1. So.
Yeah, I thought the next slide was going to talk about that, and it's just got me all the dirty dozen. So sorry, we're going a little roundabout way till I get to exactly that point. But yeah, toxins. Do we get a picture? These are the clean 15. If you guys want a picture of these 15 items at the lowest amount of pesticide residue, according to the EWG's analysis of them. So good to know. Then we're going to hop into the detox, and I'll definitely reiterate that point of why ours is different than most detoxes. We get it? Yeah. This talks about your water, definitely water filter. If you're seeing any of the news nowadays, how do people have read the back of a toothpaste bottle? It's like, don't swallow the toothpaste. This is like toxic, all poison controlled. That's because there's something called fluoride in your toothpaste. They decided to put fluoride in our water, which is a known neurotoxin, so we've all been drinking our public water system. And so now the government is being kind of told this should be out of our water, and it's been brought to court, and we're going to be getting that out of our water. But if you don't already filter your water, you definitely should, because there are things that are actually like poison in our, they think that we're good. I don't know. There's like weird reasons why they put it in, but basically filter your water. This is something that's interesting too with toxic exposure. Yeah, your body can clear out like small toxins at a time, but there's something that, especially with like heavy metals and whatnot, they accumulate, and so you're not actually able to get rid of them well. It's like, oh, low levels of mercury are okay, so it's fine, but if you eat a lot of fish all the time, it definitely is not okay, and it gets just accumulated would be the best word I could think of. So it's good to know about toxins, since they don't always go away so fast. The oil exposure, basically in utero, they really hit home with toxins in this. If you don't know, toxins are bad. This is like pains, all the things that you can find in your medication. And this is the idea of detoxing well. So a lot of times with dieting and whatnot, calorie cutting, you mean with the Ozempic, and they'll go be, yeah, you're losing weight, but you probably will stall out because your liver isn't ready to get rid of those toxins. Like we said with the phase 1 and the phase 2, it's like we don't want to make all those intermediary metabolites, and fat is what's storing those toxins. So if the body's trying to get rid of fat, but it's not ready to, it just kind of shrinks and you don't get rid of the fat, slower density. Whereas if you actually do a true detoxification, you remove the toxins, you release the excess fat, and you maintain a healthy weight. So, because that kind of makes sense, calorie cutting is great for short term, but you have a lot of rebound. But when you detox and get rid of the fat, you don't have the same rebound because you're getting rid of the thing the fat's holding on to, is the toxin. So, again, more atrazine, air pollutants, bad things. This is internal sources. If you're not having good foods in your life, if you don't poop once a day, that will be bad for your microbiome. Try to eat organic. This is a summary of the toxins. Now we're getting to the kit. Any questions about toxins before I jump into the kit? Okay. There's like 60 slides and 40 of them were on the toxins, and I was like, we'll get through that. But remove, reset, revitalize. That's the idea of this. We're gonna remove, we're gonna decrease the total burden of toxins, reset, improve liver and detoxification, elimination pathways, and then revitalize, boost mitochondrial function, recharge cellular energy production. The picture again, we're focusing on our kit. So basically, when we're doing our detox, we're focusing on phase 2 before we even touch phase 1. And so again, you've done your detoxes before, you feel like trash the first couple days. This one's gonna be different. And it's different because of the way we have products. So we have 3 products in ours. We have Core Support, MitoCore, and then PhytoCore. So it comes in a box like this. It comes with the patient handbook like this. And then I'll just show you what it looks like inside. Sorry, I'll stand on the side for you. So the Core Support powder is a protein powder. It's got 15 grams of protein per 2 scoops, and it's got 8 grams of fiber and a ton of antioxidant-rich vegetables to support all 3 phases of detox. But really, again, that phase 2 is important that it's helping with. So then we have MitoCore. This little bottle here. MitoCore looks like that. You're gonna take MitoCore. This is a product formulated for mitochondrial health and energy. Like I said, with the gas and whatnot, with your mitochondria producing ATP and free radicals, this formula to help produce the ATP and scavenge free radicals. So it's one of those formulas people will go on and feel a difference like within the week. They feel more energized. It's like people talk about B12 shots. Like we're fueling the body with the things it needs to make energy. So there's that. Then we have PhytoCore, which is our phase 1 detox. So it's gonna help with all things phase 1 and some phase 2. So now I'll go through the idea behind it. So it's 7 days. You have days 1 and 2 is a modified fast. So all you're gonna do is you're gonna have Core Support powder, this powder, and MitoCore. You're only gonna do 2 products, and you're not gonna eat any food. The reason you're doing this is, like Dr. Lindholm said, is we are a medical grade detox, like that's what we're doing, and we're stimulating phase 2 because it's like, my analogy is, if you have a toilet that's clogged, you're not gonna put any more crap in that before you wanna unplug or unclog it before you put any more crap in that. So that's the same idea with our liver, and this phase 2 stimulation is we're doing Core Support and MitoCore for 2 days, no food. We're giving the liver a break from processing any extra stuff. Day 3, we're gonna implement PhytoCore, that phase 1 supplement, and we're gonna implement an elimination diet. So we talked about the Dirty Dozen, we talked about organic foods and whatnot. You fill out your sheet. We're gonna ask that you do an elimination diet. So it's all laid out in here. I wanna see if there's a page. So these are foods that you're not allowed to have on the diet. So things like coffee, alcohol, those are kind of, I know, sad, but no-brainers when it comes to detoxing. You don't want to stress the liver and have to process any of those things. But things that are also like gluten, dairy, corn, soy, these are highly inflammatory and are not going to set us up for success if we're consuming this while on a detox. So we're asking for days 3 to 7, so it's 5 days, you do not consume those things. No sugar. But good news, these are the foods you can have. So these aren't, of all the diets I've ever been on, this isn't the worst. You're still wild rice, brown rice, quinoa, gluten-free oats, green tea. So if you really need something, you're like, I need, green tea's got some, it's like very natural caffeine. Extra virgin oil, we're really focusing on, look at this, is there like a, yeah.
It won't work on the TV.
It won't work on the TV, that's so sad. Like fats and oils, we're avoiding, and then the fats and oils that are allowed, so like your extra virgin olive oil, coconut oil, and then yeah, so no dairy, so if you're allowed non-dairy milks. So this is the layout of the days. So 2 scoops in the morning and 2 scoops in the evening for day 1 and day 2. And then day 3 is that implemented diet with, you're still doing the 2 scoops in the AM and PM. And so in our recipes that we have, like the smoothies, you mix the powder in, so you can make the smoothie with the core support powder. What's nice about this is we're trying to set everyone up for success. So we have recipes for breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks, dessert. Try and make it fun for you. We have a grocery list of things that, everything you would need if you were trying to make every recipe on here. So you can, days 1 and 2, really meal plan for yourself. I'm trying to find the, it's got a really good guacamole recipe I actually use all the time. So this is your grocery list. I know it's small, but it shows, like, if you want to take this to the store, you can know exactly what you need to get all the things to make the recipes. So yeah, that's the grocery list there too. But yeah, so it's 7 days, 2 days not eating, 3 days eating, but an elimination diet with 3 products. Again, we're stimulating phase 2 before phase 1 because we don't want those intermediary metabolites that are reactive. And then we also have things in our products that are going to help with phase 3 elimination, that 8 grams of fiber. People don't get enough fiber in their day. So that's the idea of this detox. And it's all really laid out. This is all coming from the book, so you'd find this in the book. We also have a website, CoreRestoreDetox.com, that has all of this stuff digitally on it. So it's called CoreRestoreDetox.com. It's got the patient handbook, that thing, your quiz, and all the recipes. So do you guys have any questions for me about this?
I have a question. In your journey, Dr. Lindholm was mentioning about a genetic thing. Did you have a particular test that you did to determine?
Yes, so the company, I don't know if the company that I did a decade ago, there's a lot of new companies now. I can even send you a link to some of the genetic testing that I see people use. But it was the MT-SHPAR gene SNP and the COMP-T, which is a detoxification pathway. There's 5 different genetic SNPs that people test commonly for. Those are the 2 I had.
So those of us who may not do that testing, is there another kind of test, like heavy metals test that you'd recommend, the urine or the hair test, or like what do you recommend? There's
definitely, you can do hair, you can do urine. I've done urine heavy metal test. Along with urine and heavy metal, I don't know if there's someone in the area that does EDTA, chelation, or if you just do urine by itself with it. There's a lot of different ways you can do these tests. Hair analysis is super easy.
And once a person were to go through this program, 7 days or 14 days, whichever your situation is, what do you recommend? Do you recommend once a year, twice a year? What do you recommend?
It's a great question. So we recommend you do this quarterly with maintaining optimal health, which would be 4 times a year. You can do this unending, so if you just want to stay in these products indefinitely, you could. But some people like to restart it every 3-4 months.
Thank you.
Maybe talk about adding food back in.
Yeah, so with an elimination diet, one thing we're really looking at is when you're coming off that elimination diet, slowly adding back maybe those inflammatory foods and noticing your symptoms with that. Because if you're seeing you get maybe some mucusy when you're eating dairy or gluten, you're not feeling, you're getting a stomach ache, note that because you're having an inflammatory reaction, and that's not going to be good in the long run. Do you want to add anything to that with the elimination diet?
Just slowly.
Just very slowly, yeah.
You don't want to go out and have pizza and beer the night after you finish the elimination. I'm celebrating, I'm done with my diet. Yeah.
Add one thing back, maybe a couple days.
Yeah.
See how you feel.
Yeah, so I've been gluten-free, dairy-free for so long that my diet's not very different than this, so I'm not ever usually adding the food back in. But that is a good point. If you do eat this type of way, then be slow with it.
It's an education process. Part of the reason that we are planned this workshop this time of year is people are often looking at making resolutions or making positive changes in their life, and so this can be a great springboard into cleaning up your diet, making changes, you know, being aware of what your exposures are. The sad truth is that you can do heavy metal and toxification testing, but the sad truth is that we all really need to detox. Like, we just live in a toxic world. Like she mentioned over and over about our air, our water, our food, even our clothing is now sprayed with chemicals and plastics, and it's just hard to get away from, even if you're being careful. And so, some of you may not be here for weight loss, but Katie mentioned a number of times how this can facilitate that. I find that patients that do this often just in a week lose like 5, 7, maybe 10 pounds because it facilitates that, but it also is a springboard for them continuing along that journey of healthier eating and then being able to, your body metabolism and your detoxification setting the stage for better weight loss.
Yeah, and I will piggyback on that. So the first 2 days you're not eating anything, right? So you're obviously gonna lose weight. Like, that's gonna happen. You're gonna see the scale go down a pound or 2. I usually, on average, see like 5 pounds go down. I'm also a girl. Sometimes it's different for girls. We fluctuate, but it stays off. So it doesn't come back the minute you start eating food, because you're not eating inflammation. You're not eating foods that are going to cause inflammation in the body. You're not eating things that are going to cause toxic buildup where you're storing it as fat. So you're able to lose the weight, kind of like that one graphic said, and keep it off. If I can find it. Yeah, there you go. So making yourself lose that fat for good.
I want to reiterate too that one of the great things about this program is that the foods you're eliminating are on purpose, so you're not adding more toxins while you're trying to detox, but the foods you're eating are important too. So you want to fast the first 2 days, but it is important for you to eat the other days, because they're specifically in the meal plan have you eating foods that are going to encourage detoxification and elimination. So, so it's both the products, but also the foods that they're recommending that help with the detoxification. Is there anybody here that's diabetic or is concerned about that? So how would you have them make any modifications if they're diabetic?
You absolutely can. So with diets like these, it's always like, oh, we recommend, like, do a 2-day fast. But if you can't, I know some people, some clinicians I work with, that their blood sugar drops out, so they eat on the first 2 days too.
I'm pretty well under control with that.
Good, yeah.
I'm on a ketogenic diet and stuff, and so that's along with similar lines.
Probably very similar.
Yeah, I'm doing relatively well at the moment.
Yeah, so if you're afraid that's going to throw you off, it's not going to eliminate any results from this detox. The products themselves are going to help you stimulate detox, but you don't have to do the first 2 days. It's just recommended. So, yep.
And although the company does do a 14-day, I think most people, it's better to do a 7-day and then try to reintroduce foods, and then if they need to detox further, do another 7-day, only because it's hard to do 14 days for some people. You know what I mean? It just depends on, I guess, your personality.
Yeah.
I find that patient compliance is easier with the 7-day. And also other detoxes that I've done in the past were much more restrictive in the foods they allowed you to eat, where you couldn't eat like any meat, any protein. This is really pretty easy to do after the first 2 days.
Yeah.
I do have another question. If a person is already on a supplement kind of schedule, or your herbals or whatever, do you recommend going off all of those while you're going through this?
Yes. So we do. Even though they're good for you, they still are making you process it through your liver. So we do recommend that you take a break for 7 days from that. Unless it's like a medication that you absolutely need to be on for blood pressure or whatnot. If you can take a break from your fish oil, take a break. Yeah.
How about statins?
I would say 7 days off a statin, I don't know, I would say it's probably okay to be off statin for 7 days. It's up to you. I can't take you off any medication, but yeah, I know people do come off of them. If anything, this is gonna help lower your cholesterol.
That's very constipating.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's probably one of the reasons that cholesterol is high. So, yeah. I mean, what would you say for your?
I agree. If you're taking, so again, as a chiropractor, I don't prescribe medicine, so I would say if you're concerned about it, talk to the doctor that prescribed the medication and make sure it's safe to go off of it for a short period of time and explain to them it's just a week. But the idea is any medication that you don't absolutely have to take, it's going to decrease your toxic burden. It's still going to benefit you if you have medications you can't stop taking. And then the other thing when you're talking about supplements is the MitoCore she mentioned is one of their multiple vitamins. So you're getting you're getting all of your vitamins and nutrients through the MitoCore and the other products.
Yeah, you're getting your A, B, C, D, all your minerals. So you're good with that one. Oh yeah, so also with the food, I can go into more depth. So all the meats we're gonna recommend are grass-fed and organic. So that's kind of the theme, organic. Like health, it might be like a little pricier grocery list than you're used to, but maybe you will feel a difference, hopefully, and you're giving your liver a break from the food. I mean, think about 3 meals a day. It's constant stress to your liver and metabolism, so yeah, just give it a little rest. Let's see if I have that list up again.
So I see on this, the supplement packs, that there's a French vanilla and a chocolate.
Mm-hmm.
Do you get to select, or is it pre-selected, is it non-flavored?
He's got both here, so you can choose what you want. It's total preference. I think they're both really good. Sometimes people like French vanilla if you want to make smoothies with it. Personally, I like the chocolate. I do chocolate, so.
So is your protein plant or
Plant.
plant-based?
Yeah, it's gonna be rice protein.
Okay.
Which is very hypoallergenic. It's very rare to have an allergy to rice protein.
Yep. It's got the full amino acid profile too, so that's really nice. It's not just picking and choosing. Yeah, so these are again foods you can't eat. These are foods you can't eat. So, any questions about the diet? 'Cause sometimes people get confused, and I kind of briefly went over it. It's all in the book, so if you're wondering, it's kind of laid out. But like Dr. Lindholm said, these are all things that increase detoxification, so it's good to eat on days 3 through 7. And if you could, drink filtered water during this. I know it sounds like so bougie, but I think it would be incredible to get a clean water source the whole time.
RO or filter. Yeah.
Maybe if you go to the store and get like a purified water, that would be better than drinking tap water.
How about the filters from your refrigerator distribution? Do you think that's filtered enough or not?
It depends on the last time you changed that filter.
Well, we do ours regularly.
Do you? Okay, because sometimes people don't want it to taste like the fridge.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, that's better than nothing, absolutely.
In my opinion, RO is the best reverse osmosis, but the carbon filters or even like a Brita filter is definitely helpful.
Mm-hmm.
So even if you have a well, it's not a bad idea to have a RO or have a way to filter it, because what we're finding is that like pharmaceuticals, tiny amounts, but estrogens especially and antidepressants and so forth, those chemicals get into the water table, water supply. I'd say it's a bigger concern if you're drinking municipal water, but even wells it's just, drinking water is really important to help this whole process, so you might as well try to drink as clean of water as you can.
Yeah, I mean, I would echo what you're saying with the reverse osmosis being the best standard for clean water. Yeah, and the estrogens too, like they're finding studies that the frogs that are in the runoffs of these areas are changing from male to female frogs because of the estrogen in the water. So like, it's not just like conspiracy, like it's really a bad thing, it's happening. So yeah, water is important. think that's all I have. If you guys don't have any questions, thank you for coming out and listening. Hopefully you can do a detox.
And if anybody's interested in detoxing, and tonight was, I'm gonna come over here so I'm on the camera. Tonight was for information, and if you want to follow up and talk to any of the doctors that you're seeing here, we can answer other questions you might have, like personally about you. But if anybody wants to do a detox or they want to start right away, we have the detox kits here tonight. You could talk to my lovely assistants and they could set you up with the detox kits. I would, because obviously there's a little bit of planning that's necessary. You have 2 days. If you, like say you wanted to start tomorrow, you could get a detox kit today. You could, the first 2 days, you have everything you need if you have clean water to start, and then you could do your shopping. But it is a good idea to, you know, mentally prep, like get rid of the junk that you have at your house, maybe as far as foods, you know, if you are a heavy caffeine coffee drinker, maybe go to half calf, maybe decaf for a little bit so you don't get bad headaches when you first start, because green tea will help a little bit, but it doesn't give you the same jolt that caffeine does. But other than that, you could start it right away. But just, you want to go into it being prepared. You don't want to get to day 3 when you have to add the healthy foods and you haven't done any shopping and you're not ready, because it's hard to be successful.
Or you have like a birthday party you want to have a glass of wine at. Like, just no, maybe not that week.
Right.
Put it off a week. I think that's my biggest deterrent when I do this is like, oh, I got that birthday or something.
Yeah, exactly. The first time I did a detox, that's a good point. I didn't look at our social calendar,
Yeah.
and I had like a number of things we were going to. I would just eat broccoli and cauliflower.
Yeah.
And then the other thing is that you all probably know because you came to this tonight. But if you didn't get one, there's some handouts up front that show all the other workshops we're offering this year. We're going to try to record all of them so we can put them on our YouTube channel. But hopefully that will work and everything. But you're welcome to come to any of those other workshops too.
Yeah.
So.
And I will say it is good to do it as a group. So if you guys are making friends and whatnot, and then start it together, the camaraderie is awesome. Start a text thread. You guys said maybe doing a Facebook group for just like help. We do have daily reminders, inspiration. So maybe make a friend tonight and think about doing it together. So thank you guys.
Yeah, thank you very much.